Right. Hi guys,
Hello.
welcome back to Adventure Time with UK.
Hope you're all doing well. Now today we're doing a little sit down video.
Yeah.
This video is all about ride access, what it is, and we'll go into detail how to get it, who's eligible, and then a few questions that we asked a few weeks ago.
Yeah. So we are mostly going to touch on like the Merlin ride access system. However, we did have a question about Paultons, so we'll look at that together.
And if any other questions or any other plugs you would like us to cover, then we'll try and answer them in the comments down below. So, shall we start?
Yes.
So, I'm going to do the questions. Lady's going to answer the questions because she is the ride access user.
I am, however, you do use it with me, so yeah. But yeah, that's... So, the easiest way to explain it is the ride access system is basically a virtual queue. It's not a fast track, much to many misconceptions of it. So essentially, I've actually got a Thorpe Park one here and my actual access card. So I have covered my details, obviously. So when you apply for the ride access card, you'll get approved. If you're eligible, when you get approval, this is what you pick up from the park. This has obviously a photo of you. It has your colour, which I'll get into later in the video. It will also have your name, your ID number, which obviously I've hidden, and it will have a barcode. The barcode is kind of irrelevant, but anyway. On the back, it has all of the information of where you go to, like how you use it. So, for example, with the ones that are online, it tells you the website that you have to go to actually use the system. And then for ones where it's paper, like this with Thorpe Park, it tells you where you collect from. So, yeah, essentially that's what ride access is.
So talking about like the paper one there, which parks have the paper and then also digital?
So Chessington and Legoland do it digitally, which is all on your phone. So you can do it through the app, although I never find the app easy to use. So I follow the websites on the back, and it's basically the reserve and ride system. It's all done on the same thing. So yeah, you just sign in to that using the email that you sign up, that you applied for your access card on, and then it's all there. You pick and choose what ride you want to go on, you select, and away you go. Paper, Thorpe Park and Alton Towers use the paper one. Again, so looks like this. You get given this, so it's got that. Inside it has all of your rides and the kind of accessibility things for it. So it says if it's step free, non-ambient, if it's got loud noises, dark confined spaces, or scare actors. It used to have things about other restrictions on it, but it doesn't seem to have that anymore. Then on the back, this is where the staff write, and it basically says the date that you went, which obviously this is completely out of date. It has your name, and it has how many people in your group, so you can have a max of 4 people, so that includes the ride access user plus 3 others. Then it says look for symbols around the park, so it says it's got like a standing man or a wheelchair, so that's whether you're step free or you can use steps. And then here it has your colour, so you have yellow or red, which again we'll get into later on. And then when you go to your first ride, you take this card and the staff will sign it, so it's their initial, what ride you've been on, and this here is the time for your next ride. So this is the time that once you come off the ride that you're doing, that's when you can go to your next ride and use your ride access again.
Cool. And obviously the ride access pass is available all in Towers, Chessington, Thorpe Park and Legoland that we just touched on.
So I know this is a bit of I have seen a lot of hate going around recently regarding this. So a lot of people seem to think that if you have mental ailments, you shouldn't be able to use it. It should only be physical. However, I'm going to tell you that's not the case. If you have, so it says the pass is available to guests with disabilities or conditions that make queuing difficult, whether that's physical or mental or cognitive. So it includes autism and sensory processing disorders, ADHD and learning difficulties, mobility impairments, epilepsy and seizure conditions, anxiety disorders, mental health conditions, I will say though, with the mental health conditions, it will come under more severe stuff. So if and then obviously you'll have your physical ailments, like any mobility issues, any sort of anything that means that you really can't be in a queue for very long, whether it's urgency to go to the toilet, or you just can't stand for long periods of time. It could be for a number of reasons.
Or if you're in a wheelchair and you can't get down the queue line.
Basically.
That as well. So that clears that up.
So it's physical and hidden disability.
Obviously, that all comes under the access card that you have to apply for before actually getting a ride access card.
It is a really simple process. So you can do it via the Alton Towers website, the Chessington website, the Thorpe Park website, Legoland. You can do it through any other park that does their ride access system using the access card.
The nimbus disability.
The nimbus disability card. Which actually I'll go get mine now. So here's the access card. It is done by Nimbus Disability. I've covered all my details apart from the important stuff. So again, it says access card. It also has like a photo of you. It'll have your name details and your ID number. Then it's the symbols here that will matter when it comes to applying. So you will need to have the Q Assist on it, and some places accept it if you have the WC symbol on it, but just double check basically on which park you're applying for. So Paultons Park, you can also apply for it, and Blackpool Pleasure Beach, just off the top of my head, they're the ones outside of Merlin that you can do the access card. When you go through the process, it will obviously ask for your details. It will ask for your proof. This can be a disability benefit, so your PIP, your DLA. Some accept attendance allowance. Just going from their website. It can be a medical letter from a GP, a consultant, or like occupational health, something like that. But again, just double check when it comes to those documentations. When you're applying, you'll also, once you get to a certain stage, once you've added all of your proof, your information, like the things that you struggle with, it will then ask you if you want to do a free version, which will then obviously only work with Merlin, or if you want to pay £15 for 3 years to get the physical access card, which obviously again is this one. I would highly recommend getting yourself this, because it will make it so much easier when it comes to any other park. So,
or attraction, come to that.
Yes. Any other park that says you need an access card, you can literally just link it with your ID on here and you're easy, away you go. Obviously I've just touched on the fact that it would then be valid for 3 years. For the 3-year card it is £15, so it is a bargain. You're basically paying £5 a year. Not only can that access card be used for ride access, you can use it at cinemas, you can use it at attractions, you can use it anywhere where you may need assistance. My biggest hack, and I will say this right now to everybody, my biggest hack is get yourself a lanyard. So with my ride access, again, it's hidden anyway, I have it on a lanyard. I have it on a lanyard that doesn't have the safety clip. So when you're at the parks, you can literally hook it on to your jeans. So just loop it round and hook it onto your jeans, and it's there to go. Tuck it in your back pocket when you go on rides. Easy to get out. The other thing that I've recently started doing is using the clip to push a hole in the top, clipping it on. There you go. So when you give it to the ride assistant, they can literally just flip it up, sign it, and it's all in one place.
There you go. Bosh.
Simple, easy, go, go, go. Your ride access, once you've been approved, you'll obviously get the Merlin Ride ID. Now, that will not be sent out to you. You will have to collect it at a park. It can be any park. It can be obviously Thorpe, Chessington, Towers, or Legoland. To do that, you just need your confirmation email. They will give you, like, an email with, I don't know what it's got on it now. Mine had like a reference number, but I think they now have barcodes, so I'm not sure. Mine had a reference number that I just get handed over to guest services, or if you get it from Legoland, there's, as you walk in the entrance, turn left, you've got the ride access thing there, so you pick it up there. Give them your email, they'll print your ID card there and then. On that it will say red or yellow. So here at the top it will say red or yellow. The colours mean different things. Yellow is basically standard. It basically means that you may, like, you have some struggles, but you do not require a carer, you do not require assistance. You just need some form of, you just need to get on the ride and off quickly, basically. You need quicker queue, essentially. So the other colour is obviously red. This means that you require a carer with you at all times on rides. That cannot just be anybody. They have to be over the age of 14. So whether you're an adult or it's a child, the person that goes on the ride with the person with the red ride access has to be over the age of 14. They cannot ride alone. It basically means that you require assistance for safety and evac reasons. So yeah, the colour is determined by how you answer your questions when you apply for your ride access through Nimbus. So think about the questions carefully. Don't answer the questions because you want to get yellow. Don't answer the questions because you want to get red. Do it as honestly as you can, because it's your access. It's what you need and what you require.
And it's obviously a massive safety thing as well.
Yeah. Very, very simple. You go on to, there was a portal, but it never really worked for me. There was a link to a portal for all of them, but it never really worked. It kept crashing. So what I do is go onto their website. What all you need to do is Google Chessington accessibility, Thorpe accessibility, whatever park you're going to, and it will come up. On that page it will say step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Step 1 to 3 are basically you're applying for the access card, you're applying for RAP, or you are linking your access card to Merlin. I'll get to that in a minute because that is another thing. So you go all the way down to step 4, click on it, and it will say book now. Once you've done that, you'll then be given the option of what colour your pass is. So you choose your colour and all the available dates will come up. If it's greyed out, it means that at the time of looking, there is no availability for your day. However, if it is bold, it means you can book. So you then choose your date, if available. It will, then you just hit book now. You'll get sent barcodes to your email address. Save those barcodes because you will need them. Unless you are going to Legoland or Chessington, which are digital, you will need those barcodes. So, touching on that, why you don't need barcodes for those. So if you're doing it at the digital park, so Legoland and Chessington, all you do is sign in on the day. If you haven't pre-booked your ride access, you will not be able to sign in. It will not let you, or you can sign in, but then it will say there is no ride access available. So yeah.
We will, I think it's good to touch on this bit now. If you can't get a ride access pass because the date's greyed out, sometimes, it doesn't always work, sometimes you can either look at about between 9 and 9:30, 10, and there may be some availability through cancellations.
Yeah, so that's normally on the day of your visit. However, the only park that differs from that is Alton Towers. Alton Towers now put their cancellations up the day before. So say you're going on Tuesday, if there's any cancellations, you need to be looking between 9 and 10 on the Monday. When you're at Chessington and Lego, on the day between 9 and 10, keep checking. Same with Thorpe is a little bit different. Thorpe, basically, I mean, you can keep checking up until the day before. If you arrive on park on the day and you don't see a big ride access is sold out for the day, go up and ask, because they may have availability. If you see a big ride access is sold out, don't bother asking, because you won't get one. But yeah,
I think that pretty much covers how to get a ride access pass.
It does. Before you ask me the next question, I am just going to touch on linking your if you've already got an access card, so the Nimbus access card, which is this one. There will be a step. No, so it's step 2. It says link your access card. So you click link your access card, and it will ask you for your first name, your last name, your access ID, which it will be on your actual card. It's down here. It will be your actual thing. Put that in, and then it says, it asks you the question of, if you stopped at a height of over 100 feet in the air for an extended length of time, or if you're evacuated from a roller coaster, would you require physical or emotional support from a companion? Hit yes or no. Then if there was a complex situation, or if you were evacuated from a roller coaster in a unusual stopping point at extreme height that required you to understand health and safety instructions or verbal communications, would you require support or companion? Answer that yes or no, hit submit. It would then be like another bit of instruction, so just follow the instructions step by step, link it, and you're good to go.
All good to go.
You do not have to go through the registration process of getting a new access card if you already have one.
So obviously we did actually have some people ask us some questions.
We did.
So we'll get into it. How does the ride access pass work at Paultons Park?
Right, now we need to look at this with you guys, because although we have been to Paultons Park, we went on Super Fan Day. And we've not had the chance to go since. So we will look at this together, we'll learn together, and we'll discover together. From what I understand already, they obviously use access cards. You do have to pre-book. It's the same as Merlin. And you can have up to 2 pre-books at any one time. So obviously once you use one, there you go. The same with the Merlin prebook, just while I touch on that, because you can have 3 prebooks, so 3 ride access prebooks per park per pass. So for example, you can have 3 dates for Thorpe Park, 3 dates for Towers, 3 dates for Chessington, and 3 for Legoland. Once you use one, you can then book another. So I have pre-booked for a date we have coming up. It was very, very simple. All you have to do is follow the link on their website. You just type it. I just googled Paultons Park ride access.
We'll leave a link in the description.
It brought up some stuff, and it said pre-book here. All I had to do was add in my first name, last name, my access card ID, so the Nimbus access card ID. Then it asked me for the date, and I was able to pre-book it. They then send you a voucher. So they send you an email of a voucher that you have to then take to first aid, and then they'll give you everything you need for the day there, and they'll explain how it works there. So on the Paultons Park's website, we have the Queue Assist Pass. It says the Queue Assist Pass must be booked online in advance. Well, we know that. We've just discovered that. With the WC or queuing and standing symbol applied. So if you do not have this one, or just the symbol that says WC, you will not be eligible. It says to ensure Paultons Park can provide you and your family with high quality experience, we need to limit the number of groups who have access to the Queue Assist system each day, and encourage booking for your queue assist passed early to avoid disappointment. Maximum of 2 live bookings at any one time. Okay, simple. So it's the same as Merlin at the minute. Very, very simple. To cancel a pre-book, it looks like you just give them your reservation number and your email address, and then it will cancel that reservation for you. Seems fairly simple. Obviously, we've not used it yet, so we can't comment fully.
There will be a video coming up on the channel if...
Yes,
yeah,
we are going
it's
soon.
probably already up. If it is, go and check it out.
The other thing that we did get a little bit confused. So we had a look at how many people you can have on your card, because in some places of the website it does kind of suggest that it goes more by what's on your access card. So if you have like a +1 or whatever, so like on mine, I've got the +1, which means I need a carer for whatever reason. It does read that that's what they go by. However, when you then go to the guests with access requirements, you scroll down and it actually tells you how many people can get on that ride. So it's done per ride and the ride's compatibility.
Yeah.
So for example, with Storm Chaser, it says a minimum of 1 carer, maximum of 3 carers, max of 1 group per ride. So it sounds like on some rides you can have up to 4 people. There is let's find another example because there's one. So yeah, so here it says for Cyclonator, a minimum of 1 carer, maximum of 4 carers, maximum of 2 groups per ride. So it does sound like if there is a group of 5 of you, you will be able to go on as a group of 5. But obviously until we've experienced it ourselves and can ask these questions at the park, I cannot fully confirm. We're just going by the website. So it seems fairly simple. It seems fairly basic. It seems very similar to Merlin.
Like I say, we're going to check it out in a few weeks. So we'll...
Yeah, and there is also, just for another example, if we keep scrolling, there was a ride. Yeah, so with Splash Lagoon, obviously it's similar to
brand new water
Chessington,
water ride,
where because it's a children's log flume, well, junior log flume, I guess, max 1 adult and child per boat, which obviously fine, okay.
I think that's covered Paultons Park.
Yep.
Let's move back to Merlin quickly.
Yes.
And a dying question that I think is actually a valid one. How do you cancel a pre-book? Because they don't make it very easy.
They don't make it easy. I really wish that they done a portal where you can, 1, pre-book your day ticket and your wrap at the same time, like you can with your normal ticket and your carer ticket. 2, I really wish that it was easy to just go through your reservation and hit cancel. I know some people have been able to go through their email of the confirmation of the booking to do a managed booking, and you can move the date, you can't cancel it. However, some of the parks do have email addresses that you just have to send a quick email and say, I have wrap booked for this date, this is the reference, please can you cancel it, and they'll cancel it for you. We will pop those cancellation emails down in the description for you. Also, if you have any issues when it comes to ride access, any questions, quarrels, you want to, because some people have asked this question as well, you want to change your colour from red to yellow or yellow to red.
Yeah.
It can be done. I wouldn't encourage it because
there's a reason unless
there's obviously 100% that the colour is wrong for you. I wouldn't say, oh, well, you've been given red, Dev, and you're not happy about it, to go and change it. As per the access card website, so the Nimbus website, it does say if you want to change your colour to email Merlin directly, and that email address, again, I'll pop down below in the description, and we'll put, colour change or whatever with that. So... yeah.
And before we go, just one final question. Why is there never availability at certain dates at Merlin Park?
So I don't really know how to answer this one because it's a bit of it's a very wide / broad question. So now that Merlin have done pre-books, obviously it means that it is very limited. it's a pain, but it's also a blessing, because it now means that the ride access system, in my opinion, when you're actually able to get that pre-book, it's working that how it should. You aren't in a queue normally. There are the odd exception, but you're not in the queue for longer than 5 to 10 minutes, which is how it should be. You shouldn't be waiting in a wrap queue for 30, 40 minutes. You shouldn't be having to wait any longer than 10 minutes at a push. Restricting that has meant that people aren't waiting that long. I know there are exceptions to the rules, like we have seen Wickerman be
Wickerman,
nearly
Smiler.
an hour long, or the Smiler or whatever. But of course you are going to experience that if everybody decides to go to Wickerman first, or everybody decides that they're going to go to that specific ride. But 9 times out of 10 it's working as it should be, where there is next to no wrap queue. The other thing is, a lot of people are having to, again, I'm not going to attack people, because it's, a lot of people are having to think well in advance as to when they want to go, and they have to do it on the potential that they'll be going. Some people don't have the luxury of being able to book like if that far in advance. They can only do it like the day before, depending on how they feel and stuff. I do think things need to be reworked in that, but I also do feel like at the minute we are still experiencing the panic bookings, I think. When we all had to suddenly pre-book our pass holder tickets for, during COVID or whatever, and everybody was panic booking just in case. I think we are still seeing that a little bit. I mean, it's understandable.
It is understandable. I'm encouraged by the couple of times we've been to Thorpe when we haven't had the ride access pass. Obviously, this isn't a half-term week. So, of course, the kids, obviously at Easter
busy.
time it's going to be busy and you're not likely to get a wrap. But we have been able to go there, and we have been lucky enough to get one.
Yeah, I think it is becoming more... It's becoming more frequently that we're actually able to get wrap on the day rather than having to pre-book like far in advance. So obviously there are things that we do pre-book far in advance. That being said, there's also a hell of a lot if you pre-book so far in advance. So like I've seen, a few people say that they've now booked all weekend for Alton Towers fireworks, for example. I've seen a couple of comments like that. But remember, if you do that, you cannot pre-book for the rest of the season, because you only have 3 pre-books. So if you're, just be mindful of how you do it. But just keep checking, because people do cancel. Unfortunately, it is the negative side of disability of any kind. You do get sick, you do get unwell, so things are cancelled regularly as well. So yeah, just keep checking.
I think that's probably, we've touched on a lot of things. Like I said, if you have any other questions, we will try and help. Yeah. Put your questions down below in the comment section. We'll leave all the links in the description. Yeah.
Hopefully I've explained it as best I can. Hopefully I've given you guys as much information as possible.
There is obviously other videos about the ride access from the parks on the channel already. It's in its own playlist. Again, go and check them out. We'll leave a link to that playlist.
Yes. We will try and do more updated ride access videos throughout this season. But we're kind of just waiting for the season to really get going a little bit, and then we can really get our teeth into it.
Nice one.
But we are going to Paultons Park soon, so I have pre-booked, so I can show you what that system's like. You can come along with us to experience it for the first time. And we'll see if it...
should be good. I think we'll leave it there. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. We've waffled on way too long.
I will see you
on the next adventure.
Bye, guys.
Bye.